Well, all right, people. So I want to talk about Brock Lesnar potentially retiring and what it means for the company. Breaking news: it's not good. So Brock Lesnar and this new guy, Obi Femi, whatever the fuck this guy's name is, had a match. He put Obi Femi over, then left his ring gear in the ring, possibly signaling a retirement. Now, I much prefer this type of so-called retirement over the John Cena bullshit retirement tour. I like how they leave it open ended because we all know retirements mean nothing in WWE. That word is totally irrelevant. It should not even be used with all the fake retirements that we've seen in WWE. So when people say, "Oh, that was John Cena's last match. That was John Cena's last run with the company," you don't know that. I actually don't think that's true. I think John Cena will wrestle again based on the past track record of other wrestlers saying that they would retire and then go back on their word. And people might say, well, John Cena's trustworthy. I trust John Cena versus somebody like Ric Flair. Well, John Cena has, I wouldn't say lied, but he's misled in the past. Because if you remember when he had his feud with The Rock back in 2011, he said, "Oh, I'll never be a part-timer like The Rock." Oh, and then he became a part-timer like The Rock. So I don't believe that John Cena, and even if it is true that John Cena is going to be retired permanently, it's like an ex-girlfriend telling you, after she's cheated on you 10 times, she tells you the 11th time, "Oh, I'm not going to cheat. I really mean it this time. I'm very trustworthy," and she seems trustworthy, but you have every reason to believe that she's not going to be trustworthy. So I do not, so I much prefer the Brock Lesnar way of retiring. The match was all right. I mean, it wasn't anything special. Brock did his little suplexes. I am so sick of the no-sell of finishers nowadays. It happens in like every big match now. You see, either you'll have somebody hit like 5 finishers and they'll kick out, or you'll have somebody hit a finisher and within 10 seconds the wrestler is already standing on their feet like nothing even happened. Why are we doing this? There is no point to doing it, and it totally devalues wrestling. Just in general, it devalues wrestling when nobody is selling anymore, even for the finishers. A finisher means nothing. That's another word that should just be tossed. Finisher should just be called a move because that's what it is. It's a move. Finishers do not exist anymore. So you had, I believe Brock Lesnar hit the F5 on Obi Femi. I hate that name, by the way. I think it's a terrible name. But hit hit the move, and within like 10 seconds, he's on his feet and no-sold the move. Totally retarded. I see a lot of people excited about this guy. I mean, he has a good look. He definitely has potential. I'm not going to say he's awful. I'm not that pessimistic, people. But he just got to the main roster. He just got here like 3 months ago, and we're already saying, "Oh, he's the next Brock Lesnar, guys. He's the Black Brock Lesnar." Like calm down. Let's see how this plays out. The good thing is, I'll say he is young. They're actually pushing somebody that's under 35. Usually they wait until wrestlers are like 39 years old, like Gunther, to start pushing them. At least this guy is, I looked up his age, he's 27 years old. So that's good news that they're pushing somebody who, if he does become a top star, he has 10, 15, 20 years to be in that position. But he has to prove himself. He's been in the company. I mean, he's been on the main roster for not even a half year yet. And there is such a void of main talent now on the main roster with all these people from the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era retiring, all these part-timers retiring, that anytime people see any inkling of somebody becoming popular, they automatically, "Oh, he's the next top star. He's the next Big Show. He's the next Brock Lesnar. He's the next Undertaker." Like, calm down. Let's see how this plays out. Now, Brock Lesnar is a legend. There'll probably be nobody like him ever again. Some guy like that's done everything that he has in his career, whether it be UFC, college wrestling, WWE. I mean, he's done so much, and he's had a very impressive career. A legitimate, and what made him so great and believable is he's a legitimate badass, a legitimate tough guy. Like wrestling in the UFC with diverticulitis. And that's something that that very few people in WWE have is you legitimately feel like they're a tough guy, because obviously wrestling's fake. So when you bring somebody in from the UFC and they're talented at wrestling, or they have a wrestling background and they're a legitimate badass and uh, also good at wrestling, that's something that a guy like Obai Femi is going to have to develop or find a way around. But Brock Lesnar had a great career in It was short from like 2002 to 2004, 2005. Then he came back in 2012, probably one of the greatest returns in WWE history, right after WrestleMania. Crowd was, I believe it was in Miami if I remember correctly. But the crowd was on fire. Great moment. Came out, F5 John Cena, had a match with John Cena at Extreme Rules. And of course, John Cena buried him. First match back in WWE, has all the momentum behind him, and they have an Extreme Rules match, and John Cena, of course, John Cena buries him at Extreme Rules. All the people sucking John Cena's cock now, the JCCs, the John Cena cocksuckers, forget all the horrible moments of the PG era, like in 2012 when Cena went over Lesnar. Great match, but still, Super Cena reigns supreme again. But he was pretty much a part-timer from 2012 to 2026, a 14-year run as a part-timer. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. But he was one of the only good things, even though he was a part-timer, even though he was doing only a couple feuds a year. He was one of the bright spots of the PG era, I gotta say. Now, the Suplex City shit got a little bit annoying after a while. It was a interesting thing when they did it the one time. I believe it started at one of the WrestleMania matches he had with Roman Reigns, and he said Suplex City, bitch. And everybody's like, that's kind of cool. And then they ran with it for like 10 years, and it became annoying. So I did not like that. But Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, epic duo, epic combo. And there'll really be nobody like Brock Lesnar. And if he actually does retire, this will just, again, exacerbate WWE's star problem, how they have no big talents, no big draws in the company anymore. And they need to figure out something to do with it. Is Obi Femi a possible solution? Yeah, if they push him right. But you have a big opportunity here at WrestleMania. Whoever you put over Brock Lesnar could become a big star if you work at it, push him correctly, and have a good plan in place. Just like whoever you put over John Cena at his last match could have became a top star if you pushed him correctly, if you gave him the correct storylines. But they didn't really do that with Gunther. So you can't just keep having these opportunities to build new stars and keep dropping the ball. And I believe WrestleMania 42 was really the first WrestleMania where we saw this problem play out. And nobody was interested in WrestleMania. Everybody was talking about the declining ticket sales, not the actual product. And as more and more wrestlers that are 45, 50 years old from the past eras retire, and there's nobody to take their place, the more that happens over these next few years, you're going to probably see CM Punk retire. Roman Reigns is getting up there. Randy Orton is getting up there. Even Cody Rhodes is on the other side of 40, I believe. So as you see, no new talent being developed in past stars of other eras retire, you're gonna see this problem exacerbated more and more and more, just like it was at this past WrestleMania. So Brock Lesnar, great career, no doubt about it. Nobody like him, and hopefully they could find that top star to take his place. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on the possible Brock Lesnar retirement tour. And I also want to talk about Stephanie McMahon was inducted into the Hall of Fame. For what? For being married to Triple H? What's her top 3 accomplishments? Married to Triple H, the son of Vince McMahon. Why does she get to go in the Hall of Fame before somebody who's actually done something like Shane McMahon? Shane McMahon's jumping, 30 feet off of scaffolding, going through fucking tables, even at even when he came back, he's like 45 years old with gray hair, going through tables, tearing muscles in the ring. And Stephanie goes in the Hall of Fame for existing. That's all she's done. She's existed as Vince McMahon's son and Triple H's wife. And she goes in the Hall of Fame? Are you serious? What a joke. She does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. That is just so stupid. I just had to say that. I hate Stephanie. I think she's annoying. One of the worst gimmicks of the PG era was the authority gimmick, where her and Triple H would come out every Monday and cut boring 20-minute promos to kick off Raw. So, not a fan of Stephanie being in WWE. I think she's very overrated. She's really done nothing for WWE at all. Yeah, she's been put into positions within the company just because she's a family member of people who've succeeded in the company. That's all she's done. And I see she's got a new podcast out. Like, they just give podcasts to everybody now. But yeah, I had to talk about that too before I ended the video. I hate Stephanie McMahon. I think she's talentless, and I think she should not be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So there you go.